The Cricket Cranes crowned their year with a qualification to the T20 World Cup for the first time ever after finishing second with 10 points in the qualifiers held in Namibia. The Cricket Cranes also had a historic 5 wickets win against test-playing nation Zimbabwe. The team also defended their Africa Cup title as the Victoria Pearls qualified to the Global World Cup qualifiers for the second time. In football, Uganda earned the right to co-host the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations with neighboring countries Kenya and Tanzania, bringing the prestigious event to the East Africa region for the first time.
Thank you so much. Thanks, picture.
This bid has pushed Uganda to adequately prepare through improvement of renovations of Nambole, Nachivubo and Hoima Stadia set for that tournament and others. In the meantime, Ugandans will be glued to their television sets as they watch the 34th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations that will happen in Ivory Coast starting from the 13th January 2024. In Ugandan football, the under-18 boys team won the inaugural Sikefa tournament in Kenya, while the senior Uganda Cranes and Crested Cranes failed in their continental endeavors, and football clubs Vipers and KCCA struggled on the continental stage. The She Cranes finished 5th at the Netball World Cup in South Africa. But even with a good performance, the Netball Federation had been hit with the worst saga this year, reaching the worst of the cancellation of the federation's license. In basketball, the Gazelles danced into the last 8 in the Afro basketball tournament for the first time.
2 points all turnovers, but at least Uganda score at the other end quickly.
As the City Oilers also made it to the Africa Basketball League for the first time. The Rugby League thrived, but what stood out, both the men's sevens and women's sevens teams made it to the Olympic repechage to be played in 2024. Test rugby also returned to the Ugandan scene after a long hiatus, with the rugby team winning the first leg of the Victoria Cup. At this year's Africa and Oceania Pentathlon Championship in Cairo, Egypt, Uganda won her first ever medals in the dawn of the pentathlon era.
He was very, very good. Waited until the final mile and then just went.
Jacob Kiplimo and Joshua Cheptegei added more gold medals to their collection as juniors from Deje University in Dismas Yeko and Achiro Knight won at the World University Games in China. On the other side, the sport suffered with some athletes being banned for doping. In swimming, Special Olympian Larry Finney won 2 gold medals in the 50-meter and 100-meter breaststroke finals in Berlin at the Special Olympic Games during the month of June. A year of more rattles in the badminton game with 4 golds from the African continent with notable names like Shamika, Gladys Mbabazi, Kusna Kobugabe, Brian Kasirye and Sarah Naziwa. Uganda also saw the return of the Tennis Open after a decade.
You must defend and you must tell to the East African community, indeed, you want to move from the defending champion to the leading champion.
In school games, Uganda Secondary School Sports Association attained the overall position at the East Africa Secondary School Games that happened in Rwanda in August. And at university level, Uganda Matters won the Pepsi Football University League. Victoria University were crowned winners for the second time in the Rugby League. And Deje University recorded their 6th local crown in a row at the 19th edition of the University Games at the Uganda Christian University in Mukono. What a year of sport it has been. Mashomiro Victor, Amon Ngabo, Grace Joyce Kemigisha, and John Barnes Sentamo reporting for UBC News.